Guys, this is probably the most important Bitcoin video I've made in a while. And I know I say this a lot, but what's currently happening for Bitcoin is something I've been talking about for the last month or something. It's absolutely crazy. And this is the biggest Bitcoin pattern you will ever see. Because this pattern has been created all the way since the start of this year, and it's been being created for more than 7 months right now. And we can see the last 2 times we touched this massive upward sloping support line right here and right here. We saw massive pumps. We saw more than 50% pump, more than a 50% pump. We saw more than a 30% pump, and now we are at it again. This massive upward sloping support line, which has been providing crazy support the last 2 times. And I think, and I've been talking about this a lot, that we are going to see a massive pump from this massive support line. It's absolutely crazy. We can also see that we're almost coming to the decision point with our upward sloping and horizontal resistance and upward sloping support line, of course. So what I currently think is going to happen is we are just simply going to see this massive breakout. You can see we created here, we already tried to break out, didn't happen. We saw a lot of wicks, but it didn't happen. Now we're at this massive support line, and we will see a massive pump all the way to 35k if my predictions are right. But first I need to support this. Why is this going to happen? Well, first I need to show you guys why we saw this massive move to the downside. Because since the last few days we do have seen some quite big dumps. And why is this happening? Well, yesterday we saw the FOMC Fed minutes meetings. And they basically said that the Fed officials see upside risks to inflation, possibly leading to more rate hike at the FOMC minutes meeting shows. And what this means is that the Fed still is not certain about inflation, and that they are still seeing risk in the inflation, and this could cause to more rate hikes. And we all know that rate hikes are not really bullish at all. And this is simply what they said. This is pretty bearish. That's why we saw this massive drop for Bitcoin. So yeah, this drop was not natural at all. And that's also why we actually lost our mid-range support. No worries though, because we're now at one of our big support lines. Also, we can clearly see that this is not only our upward sloping support line we have right here, but we also have a lot of other support lines that I'm going to show you guys right now, why we will potentially see a massive pump. We can see this horizontal support line is also really strong, and we're finally retesting this. This is the first time we're actually retesting the bottom side of this massive support line, basically all the way since we touched it right here and right here. So that's a really long time ago, which means that this support line is pretty strong. And this support line has been created a long time ago, which means that it's a strong support line, and it's on a higher time frame as well, which means it's a strong support line. What we also can see right now is a perfect Bitcoin scenario right now. We can clearly see that Bitcoin, the bears, are trying to push the price down. It didn't happen, immediately got bought up. We saw a little bit of a pump, and now we're seeing a little bit of a dump. However, what we're currently seeing is a simple double bottom formation. I've seen this a lot, and this happens a lot with massive sell-offs like this. You will always see a double bottom, and if it's at a massive support line, you will see a massive pump to the upside. Our first target, of course, is going to be this bottom resistance line. Of course, it first was support, now resistance. So this is our first target, this mid-range resistance line. Now, I already showed you guys this chart, but it's just so important. Then we have this chart right here. It's basically the same chart, but with all the ranges on it. You can simply copy it. And we can right now see that this is probably one of the most important ranges we are trading at right now. We can see that this has just been providing a lot of support. And you can also see it right here on the 1-day chart. I'm showing this to you guys right now. This is just really important. Now we have more support lines for you guys. Yes guys, I'm really bullish. I'm just showing to you everything I can. And we also have this massive support line right here. We can see that this is a falling wedge, and a falling wedge is a bullish pattern with a potential breakout target here all the way to our yearly high, which is absolutely crazy. We can see that we are perfectly supporting of this massive downward sloping support line actually right now, which is also a really bullish sign, of course. And then we also have the same line I tried to actually see if this was a bull flag, but that got a little bit invalidated. We can still see that it's somewhat a bull flag. However, I'm not sure if this counts because we already saw a massive pump to the upside, of course. However, that was a fake out, so this could also still be in play. But yeah, that being said, Bitcoin is just looking super bullish in my opinion. We saw some fake selling off because of some news, the FOMC, the Fed cast, which happens a lot. And now we're creating some massive bullish patterns. So yeah, to summarize everything I just said, Bitcoin is looking primed for a Bitcoin pump. Bitcoin is just looking really bullish, and I don't see why we're now going to break this massive upward sloping support line. I just don't see any reason. Of course, we could still see some kind of a black swan event, but I'm not expecting that at the moment, and I'm at least expecting a small pump, maybe something like this. Maybe we do something like this. That's of course also possible. We don't have to straight up go up. We could also just do something like this and then make the decision right there. But yeah, for now I'm really bullish. I'm still in my Bitcoin long position, my Pepe long position, and I will be adding more to this position. So yeah, that being said, if you want to trade Bitcoin yourself, make sure you go to the first link in the description and claim some of those bonuses. That being said, I will see you in my next Bitcoin video.